My name is Sean Thomas, and I'm the author of Be More Today, a 40-day guide to a better version of you. As doctor of physical therapy, I've seen thousands of people do great things. They came to me with ailments, physical ailments, pain, issues, and they got through them, all because they decided in their mind they were going to do it. And I guarantee you, if you just trust the process and be persistent, you too can be the best version of you. Have you ever been out and about with nowhere to stash your keys and ID so you can be hands-free? Whether you're running errands, traveling, or hitting the trail, Spybelt is the belt that goes where you go. Made with stretchable fabric and a low-profile design, Spybelt is your perfect companion to keep your essentials secure without bouncing or chafing. Choose from several prints and colors in the original, a wider band in the Pro versions, or the newest Spybelt Whiteout, an all-white belt that is perfect for summer. Visit www.spybelt.com to get your Spybelt today. Run smart, run free, run with Spybelt. Don't let aches and pains hold you back from living your life. At Jack Physical Therapy, our experienced clinicians create a personalized treatment plan that fit each and every patient's needs uniquely. Whether it's recovering from an injury or enhancing your performance, we've got you covered. With over 150 locations throughout New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, there is sure to be a Jag Physical Therapy location near you. Visit jagpt.com and book an appointment today to get back to the life you love. That's jagpt.com, jagpt.com.
Welcome to the Be More Today show. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our show today. Now, let's hear it from our host, Dr. Sean Thomas.
What's going on, folks? Your boy here, Dr. Sean Thomas, back in the building with the Be More Today show. We're back in the building, folks, and we are here in the Thanksgiving month. Happy Thanksgiving to each and every last one of you. It is a pleasure and a blessing to be here in the month of November, and just so happy to be here with Be More Today. We're still moving and grooving, still thriving and being more alive in 2025. And I gotta give thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show from the beginning. This has been a great year. Be More Today has been a movement since day one. More merch store, Be More Today book, Project More has been out there all year, helping people to be more in all ways. And Be More Today show has grown, now heard in 97 countries, over 77,000 downloads. Again, thanks to your love and support, the show continues to grow. And big shout out to our sponsors, Spybelt, the best running belt out there in the business. Kim and her team does a great job putting on a great product, and they have all year round, so we salute them. Jag Physical Therapy, John and his team, John and our team, are doing amazing things in the Northeast, New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania. So big ups to us for being great in terms of health and wellness and prevention for all those who need it. And of course, our monthly patrons who continue to give to the show. It never goes unnoticed. For those who have been a part of my journey, I am running the Boston Marathon in April of 2027. It is happening. It is going down. And I'm excited to be a part of that movement as well. And I'm running for an organization called Stride for Stride. Stride for Stride is a nonprofit organization. They buy race bids for immigrant, BIPOC, and low-income runners. And the goal is to make races more accessible and more diverse for all. Because there's no reason anyone should not be able to go to the starting line and finish a race. Stride for Stride has been doing a lot of things. They have so many runners across the world, over 430 runners from 27 different countries, including the US, me being one of them. And every member of the team receives free mental health with Stride for Stride. So if you want to give to that organization, we are trying to raise $9,500 by the end of April. And the link for that donation is in the show notes as well. My quote for today is simple as always. Be thankful for everything that happens in your life. It all is an experience, by Roy Bennett. This year has been an amazing year for me, but it's also been an amazing year for many of you as well. And it's sometimes hard to be thankful when things are not going as we have planned them to go. But during the Thanksgiving season, I just want to remind everyone that we have to be thankful in all things. Sometimes it's hard to be thankful for things that we don't have. But being thankful for what we do have is enough. And the guest on today's show has been a guest on the show before. He's not a new guest to the Be More Today show. He is my dad. And my dad's been on the show talking about track and field stuff back in the day and talking about so many other things. But he's also been through so many things this year when it comes to life and the life that he's been going through. I want everyone to be able to share as we celebrate Thanksgiving and also as we celebrate his birthday, which is also this week. And I want to have him share his amazing story because his story needs to be heard. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pets included, please welcome to the stage our next guest on Be More Today's show, my father, and the man who has all the hats, Samuel Thomas. Dad, what is going on?
What an introduction. Oh my God. Thank you, Sean. What a blessing. I thank you so much. And please, I want to shout out to all the families, all the friends out there for a blessed, happy Thanksgiving next week. So I want to put that out there, okay?
No problem, no problem. Listen, it's been awesome having you on the show today. I'm happy to have you on. I'm happy to highlight you and all that you've been doing. And I really wanted this time to be a time where we can just say, for one, happy Thanksgiving to all. And for two, happy birthday to you. And I know you don't always celebrate birthdays. They kind of come and go, and you're like, oh, whatever, birthdays, whatever. But I thought that it would be awesome to really talk about this year for you and why this is so important because you had a very eventful year. 2025 was very eventful for you, and I wanted the listeners just to kind of know, what that journey was like for you. And I'm going to just kick it off like this: at the end of 2024, which is almost about this time last year, you had a stroke, and I'm curious if you don't mind sharing what you remember from that experience at the end of 2024.
Well, I will tell you, Sean. I woke up initially around 2 o'clock in the morning, went to the bathroom, came out, fell on the floor. I was on the floor and I actually couldn't move. I could see people around me, but I couldn't move. I couldn't have no control of my legs, my arms, but I can move my eyes and see people. So next thing I knew, um, a lot of people were in my job there and in the in the building there, and they came and they took me out. The ambulance came and took me to the hospital, um, and I was out of it, Sean. I was totally out of it. I wasn't able to see anything. I didn't know what was going on. Next thing I know, I'm in the ambulance. My family's there. Everybody's praying for me, and I think I didn't know what was happening, and I guess in reality, it hit me that um, I was in big trouble, and it was said to me that I just might not make it. My family told me that later on, but miraculously, God is good. God got me through. Everything went well, and and I was in the hospital for a good amount of days. But I will tell you, when I did come through, I couldn't talk. I was
Hmm.
just mumbled. And through the blessings that God has um, displayed upon me, I was able to reach out to a speech therapist, and I got extra help with dictation and how to talk, and that really helped me a lot. That helped me a lot. So um, that was a pretty bad experience for me. Again, I came out of it. I actually came out of it, went right back to work. And when I went to work, my principal said, "You know what? You got to go home." He knew it instinctively that I wasn't performing right. So I went home. I stayed home for a couple of days, and I got my senses back together. Started memorizing a few things, and I did go back to work, and everything was okay for that month, Sean, in December of 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember, we got the phone call. Wife gave us a call and told what was happening, and we were actually on our way to a funeral for Farad's father-in-law, all the way who knows where. Um, and everybody was like, "Oh, you got to go see your dad. You got to go see your dad." And I said, "Yeah." I listened to Sharon what she was saying, and I listened to what was happening, and I was like, "He's gonna be all right. I'm gonna see him as soon as we get back." And I got a lot of flack for that. A lot of people were like, "Oh, why didn't you go see him? Rush to go see him immediately." But I know you're a fighter, and once I heard you were stable, I said, "Okay, he's gonna be fine. We'll see him when he actually wakes up." And I know we got there just in time to see you moving around and grooving, and
Amen.
it was awesome
Amen.
to see you in that capacity. And it was troubling to see you in that capacity, but also really, really inspiring to see you bounce back from that so quickly. And as a result, you had some other things that were shared with you that you shared with us. And one of the big things and the big names or the big words that you shared was this thing called cardiac amyloidosis. Now, from some who might not know what that is, can you just kind of explain what you've learned about this amyloid that has been in our family for a while, and clearly you've been experiencing in multiple ways with your heart?
Yes, Sean. Thank you so much. It's a hereditary. I don't want to say a disease, but it's like it kind of like it in a way because it travels through your whole body. And for me, it started to attack every organ in my body. Again, primarily my heart. It started to attack my heart, and sometimes you just keep moving. You don't think about life. You just you're in pain. You just keep moving. You keep striving. It is what it is, and you just keep it going. But I got to a point where my legs started swelling up, and the amyloid is a protein that it goes through your body and attacks again every organ that's in the body. And again, I want to repeat that the main issue or the main problem that it attacked was my heart, and I didn't realize it at the time how bad my heart was because I'm in school. I coach track. I'm in cross country. I do a lot of activities in the school. I'm busy, so I'm not thinking about any pain or what's going on. My leg is bothering me, but you know
Right.
what? You keep moving. You keep striving because you want to do better. So that really, really hit me hard. It hit me so bad that I got to a point where I had to go see doctors in the hospital.
Right.
And I went to see a doctor, and you know, eh, a lot of them couldn't tell me what was going on. They kind of knew, but they didn't know. There were several tests that went on, and one doctor in particular said to me, "You have 6 months to live. You have 6 months to live." And I looked at him like I didn't know what to say. I've never had a doctor or a physician or someone of authority say that. And I literally didn't know how to react to it. So I looked at him and I appreciate everything he said and respect him as a person. And then I said to him, I'm not coming back to you again.
Mm.
So my primary doctor is at NYU Langone in New York City. So I hadn't seen him in a while, so I decided to go see him to see what was going on. And he started talking to me about life and how old I was getting, and but you still look young, you're still vibrant, you're still doing things in your life, So he said, "Listen, have you ever thought about a transplant?" I'm like, "A transplant? What are you talking about?" He says,
Mm.
"A transplant, a heart transplant. Have you thought about that?" I said, "No, I never thought about that." Because I'm thinking, you know what, I'm gonna keep going, whatever's happening, because I
Right.
didn't really feel any pain, but I knew something was wrong within my heart. So I end up staying there for a while, and he said to me, you know, you should consider a transplant. So going home that day, I thought about it. I called him back the next day. I said, you know what? Let's do it. So I come to him days later, and he says, okay, let's start it. I want you to know, he said to me, point, 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 this is not going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some journey that you're going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept praying about it and praying about it. And just so you know, he wanted me to meet several people, several doctors, and certain nurses. So I met these people because they wanted to see who I am. What is this person about? Because they thought about my age and they're like, you know what? When you get to a certain age, they're not thinking about a heart transplant. They're
Right.
thinking about, you know what? You could be saying goodbye to some people. So I met these people, and then I had to meet. Then my doctor had to meet a series of 30 doctors and nurses for them to approve me to get into the heart transplant program. But it didn't start there. I wasn't even in the hospital yet. So I get into the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I get into the hospital, and I'm nowhere near as far as being on the transplant list. And I'm hooked up to all types of everything. I'm hooked up to everything. Every machine you could think of, I'm hooked up to. And in essence, what the machine was doing was keeping my present heart alive and keeping me going. That's what was going on. So even though I felt I was in the hospital and I was leading to the transplant, I was nowhere near that. I was going
Right.
through test behind test behind test.
Right.
So now it gets to a point where I'm getting closer and closer to being on the list. But there's a series of questions that has to be presented for someone to get on this list, and I didn't fit any of the categories.
Mm.
So God is good. God will direct you to the right people who will help you. So a particular doctor, Dr. Tony, came in and had this long talk with me. Said, "Listen, I got you. I'm going to write up something that's going to help you get into this program." And that's what he did. He
Mm.
wrote up something that got me into the program, and I end up being on the list to receive a transplant.
Mm. Now that by itself, even getting on the list by itself, right, sounds like it was just divine intervention because so many people need hearts, right? So many people of all ages go through these situations where they don't have, and they want to be on the list. You see the movies all the time, right? People trying to get a heart transplant, and it makes it seem like it's so easy to get, but based on what you're saying, it was a complete journey just to be able to get approved to be on the list. Not even saying you're going to receive the heart, but just to be actually on the list, and you were able to do that. And I remember going to the hospital, and uh, you got a call saying you have to be in the hospital. And when I got that message from you, it was okay. Well, he'll have the heart. He's going in for the heart. But that was not the case. Talk to the listeners about what the journey was, even though you were on the list, what the journey was for the waiting period to actually receive the transplant.
The waiting period was insane. Well, you know what? I want to correct that. I want to go back to saying to being faithful and prayerful and trusting God. And it's not easy when you're hooked up again to all these machines and you're going through stuff and you're taking pill behind pill behind pill. And it's a lot. It's a lot. You're getting up, and when you get up, you need people to help you. Go to the bathroom, to move around, you need people to help you. It's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling at all. But miraculously, again, God directed me and showed me what I should be doing and guided me to meet the right people. But again, the process wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. So I'm thankful. I'm very thankful that I was able to get through it. Um, I was able to understand where I was headed. So I started praying about it. And I was in for a couple of months. Actually, you know what? Correction. I went in August, August 11th. And within, so we're talking about September. September, I had around the ninth or so, I had already knew that I was on the list and I was just being prayerful. So I started praying to God that I want to get out of here. I said, God, I need you to send me a heart within by next week. And God's like, what are you talking about? I said, I need you, God, to send me a heart next week. I don't care where it comes from. I want to make sure it's a good heart, a solid heart. So I'll tell you, 9 days, 9 days within the doctors came in the middle of the night and said, we have a heart on the way for you. So I want you to make this clear because I went in August. September 15th, I was out of the hospital with my new heart. Out of the hospital, September 15th, on my way home. Now, is it easy to get home? Get out of the hospital, but you still need, there's so many pills. I lost count. There's so many pills. There's pills in the morning. There's pills in the evening. But the beauty of life and the beauty of how God protects and guides you is that you get weed off the pills slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're working with me right now. I'm not on all of them right now, but I'm still on a lot of pills.
Yeah.
Not just pills, injections, and it's a lot. But you know what? I think what keeps me going is being faithful. Because even in the morning when I look at all those pills, God reminds me, stay faithful, trust
Mm.
Him, stay faithful, trust Him. And it's not easy to do that. But then when you realize you got somebody in your corner who's got your back and looking after you, then you know you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of thoughts. I was with you a couple of days in the hospital, and we had a chance to really connect. And I know you're not one who is easily in the box of asking anyone for anything, and I think I'm the same way, right? So I remember just showing up and you being like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm just here to sit next to you," and you're like, "Why are you here? I don't understand why you're here." I'm like, "Come on, I'm just here." But I knew, it gets lonely sometimes at the hospital. And, we've heard people waiting for months, sometimes even a whole year, sometimes even babies waiting for a whole year to receive a heart on the list, right? Priority, whatever number, but they still have to wait. They still have to wait. And, one of the things I'll say, and I shared this when I spoke about this at our local church, is that, one of the things that I really admired about your journey with this is that you were so positive. It was like there was no thought that you would not get a heart, even though you knew that people were in the hospital for months waiting for hearts to be given to them, even though you knew that nothing was guaranteed in terms of what you might be getting. You were very, very fixated on getting a heart, and you shared that with everyone you encountered. I mean, I saw you talking to nurses and doctors and the residents and the cleaning people and the food people, anyone who came into that room, you were asking them, "Hey, do you have a heart? Where's my heart?" But you were also like share with them that if they didn't know, they should know that a heart's on the way. And I want to really commend you in being a testimony even before the heart came to so many people who saw your story. I mean, when we were there when you were going for surgery, the number of people who came by to say, "Hey, good luck, praying for you. We're gonna miss you on this floor." It almost seemed like you were the most popular person on the floor, and it really shared or showed a light on your ability to not just share your faith, but also your ability to share that you were confident and you were positive that you would not be there forever, that you were going to be the next person in line for a heart, and you were. And I thought it ironic that your blood type, the same as mine, is B positive, because it's funny that B positive blood type that you were exuberant or executing in the hospital setting, you were being positive in all ways. And I thought that was kind of just ironic that you were doing that. But it was great to see. And even when you came back, I know you don't remember this because you were sedated. The number of people who were on your new floor who were curious because they had heard about you already, and the people who were on the other floors who came down to your surgical floor to kind of see how you were doing, it just transcended, I think, the entire experience, knowing that people were rooting for you, not just family and friends, but also the new friends and family you made in the hospital. So it was definitely a story that many people were going to remember, and I just wanted to share that with you.
Oh yes, I thank you so much, Sean. I want to remind. There was one situation where I needed a doctor told me that they were considering me for the heart transplant, but my right leg, like from the ankle up to my knee, was in bad shape because of the amyloids. So they were hesitant to perform the transplant because they were afraid that I would lose my leg. And that's when you go into prayer mode. That's when you sit down and you say to God, I know you got this. I know you got this, because that doctor had the ability to say, you know what? This man needs a heart transplant, but I can't check off approved to him because I'm afraid that during the surgery, he may lose his leg.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, God? I, I, I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. And everything went well. The doctor finally signed off on it, and I moved on. As you know, I went through it, and I thank God I still have both legs in there. They're
Yeah.
still movable, But I go over and over again is that believing and that conviction to it's almost like you can see it. Like going back to the heart, I saw that heart. I knew that was my heart.
Mm.
So so if anybody out there that's hesitant about their life, whatever it is, whatever situation it is, you need to believe, you need to trust, you need to know that God's got your back, and there's favor and blessings that you can't even see yet that He's going to prepare a way for you. And it's just amazing. And I'm still going through stuff right now. I really am. I'm going back to school. Actually, December 1st. I am going back into school December 1st, and with these kids that are going to drive me crazy. But
Mm.
I'm looking forward to getting back to work. And I'm not 100%. No, they say it really takes it takes a year. They're saying it could take a good year, but each day gets better. A lot of walking. We can't do too much lifting yet. And when I think about it, from September 15th to now, that's not a long time.
Yeah.
That's not a long time. People have been out for months, months upon months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, home recovering.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that I am doing much better. I'm doing well, and being prayerful each and every day, Sean.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing story for sure. And, to go from a directive saying you have 6 months to live to now saying you have a brand new heart, go out there and live. It's wild. I mean, I remember you saying, I remember asking you, so what are you going to do now? And you said, start growing an afro, which I thought was hilarious. I thought was hilarious. But it just shows that the restoration is real. And my question for you now is, yeah, so what is next? You were given this directive that you only had a short period of time to be here, and now you have a whole new start, and you're talking about going back to work and doing other things. um what's next for you now that you have this renewed sense of life and this new heart to keep living with?
Well, I think the plus to this, Sean, is I feel good about myself. I don't know what God has planned. I mean, no one knows day to day. You put the plans out, but it's an old saying: if you want God to laugh, just tell him your plans. All right. So again, I'm looking forward to going back to school. I don't know what's going to happen with these kids, running around. I have to go back. I got to wear a mask for a while, to make sure that these kids don't have a lot of, colds and what's going on with them. So I got to be very careful. And when I say careful, you got to be mindful that, if someone's going through something and they're not doing well, you should remove yourself. I should not be. I should not. I'm gonna do my best so I'm not near people that could have a situation going on with them that would affect me. So I
Right.
got to be careful of that, and I got to be careful for a while. Like I went to the um, I went to the Commons, the Woodbury Commons last weekend.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that had a mask on. People, everybody's got masks on. No, I mean, no one's got a mask on but me. I'm the
Uh-huh.
only one walking around with a mask on. So I'm like, people looking at me like, what's wrong with that dude? Doesn't he know COVID's over?
Right.
Didn't somebody give him the memo?
Right. Right. Right.
So, but you know what? I trust. And
Yeah.
I'm there, and I'm like, okay, I'm the only individual, but hey, that sets me apart.
Yeah.
That sets me apart from anyone else, you know? So, to answer your question, I feel that I'm moving in a positive direction. I want to get better and better each day. I want to get to a point where I can start exercising a little more. I can't do that now. I mean, I'm limited to a couple of pounds. I can't do push-ups yet. A lot of things I can't do right now, but eventually He will give me the strength and ability and will to do that, to do those things and move forward. So, I that's one thing I'm looking forward to is getting in good shape,
Yeah.
you know, and also again taking care of myself because now I have a new heart. But remember, you have a new heart, but the body is still the same.
Mm.
That heart may be like, but the body's still the same. So
Yeah.
now I got to work on both of them.
Yeah.
I got to let the heart know. Look, we got a new guy in town. We got
Uh-huh.
we got a strong heart in the town. You need to get him in check with us.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I want to do the best that I can possibly do, and the best that I can possibly be as time goes on and I get older and older and older.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's amazing, and we're thankful that you're still here. We're thankful that you got through this. Some people even get through the surgery to get the new heart. They don't get the heart, or they get the heart, but they don't get through the surgery. You got through all of that, and you're doing so well. And my final question to you is, during this Thanksgiving time, there are people who are thankful for so many things, and there are some people who are looking for certain things, right? With talking about Hurricane Melissa, and what's happening with people around the world in terms of government changes and SNAP benefits being restored. And this world right now is a crazy place.
Yes.
But we are still thankful that we have certain things, and there are things that we still want that we're waiting for. What's one word of advice you can share with those who are listening about what kept you going while you were waiting? Because there were many times in this story, in this journey, where you were waiting. You were waiting for the 6 months, trying to figure out next steps for that. You were waiting in the hospital for the new heart, or waiting to be on a list first, and then waiting in the hospital for the heart to come. And now you're in another waiting cycle where you're waiting for your body to really be in a better place to um, accept this heart and be in a physical place where your heart and your body are even, right, in terms of your strength and your mobility and your ability to move. So, what words of advice can you share with those who are listening, who are maybe going through a similar situation like this, or maybe going through a different situation where maybe it's financial, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's something else? I mean, you do a lot of social work, you work with a lot of kids, so I know you can see the world from various lenses. What's one you can share with those who are listening about um, what they can do while they're waiting, or words of encouragement to stay focused and stay thankful during the waiting process?
Well, I will tell you one thing, Sean, is that sometimes those moments hit you. Sometimes, you're thinking this is going to go well. I see it happening. And then for some reason, it doesn't happen and you feel a little down. There were times, and they didn't last long. There were times that maybe 5, 10 minutes, I go into that downward spiral. I remember one day when I was sitting by the window in the hospital, I was looking outside and was like, why aren't I out there running with everybody else? Why aren't I out there? Like, I'm looking at so many people. They're riding their bikes and they're moving around. I could see them all outside. And I'm
Mm,
like, why am I not down there? And then I had to come back.
yeah.
I had to come back. That was 10 minutes. I had to come back to reality and realize who I am, who I am. So, what I want to let everyone out there know, if you're going through something,
Mm,
like through life, whether it's financial, maybe it's something that's medically bothering you, you have to stay faithful.
yeah.
And regardless of how bad things may seem, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm,
And that trust that comes in, because the beauty of it is that when you can least expect it, that's when it happens.
yeah.
And when you think about the Bible and you think about Moses and all the people who were successful in life that came through trials and tribulations, and you know they had to go through a lot. They had to go through a lot, and and that's what God does. He protects you and guides you. So I just want to let everybody know that, and the only way I can talk to someone is through God.
Mm,
And everybody has their own way of looking at things. Somebody else might go like, you know what, I'm praying for whatever. And that may be their way of praying for whoever or whatever you're praying for. And that might be that person. But you need to believe in something. You need to believe that wherever you're trying to get, that God's gonna, again, if it's God, He's gonna work it out for you to get you to that next level. That's very, very important. Um, I just want to stress again that you know um, being faithful and showing favor to God is like, for me, it's I don't know any other way to deal with my life except that
mm,
I pray about everything. What I'm gonna wear, what's gonna happen today, where am I going,
yeah.
every single thing that I pray about, and I think that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me alive. And again, guys, just trust God. Let Him lead you. Let Him guide you, and He will protect you throughout.
Mm. Well said, sir. Well said, sir. When you talked about the amyloids, I got tested, and our brother, your son, and we got tested, and my heart is good. There were no signs of any amyloids at that time, or at that time when I was tested, and I will continue to make sure that I keep my body in line, and keep my eyes open to some of the signs that may be happening, as this is a genetic kind of a thing. But the story is true, and it's great to see the amount of faith you had in the process. And I think if others can have that same faith during this holiday season, during the processes in their own lives, then they too can get through it. So we salute you, Dad, and congratulations on being triumphant in this. We praise God for you, and how happy that you got through this process. And we're excited for all the things that you're going to be doing in this year into next year. Amen. As well. So,
amen.
Any final thoughts you want to share with listeners before we close out?
What from me, Sean?
Any final thoughts you want to share with listeners?
You know what? I'm thankful. I'm so thankful that there's times when there's a favor that I pray. It's a series of words that I pray regarding favor. And sometimes when I start out with that, I'm almost shaking. I'm shaking because I feel so good about saying that favor that he's got me. I just feel alive, and I feel like I think, and I know some people are going through some stuff. Everybody's got some things that are going on in their life, but I think that you need to really understand who you are, and just quickly, Sean, to go back to the hospital, I connected with everybody. Anybody who, again, I know Sean mentioned earlier, I came in contact with, I connected with those people. And I tell you something, it made them feel better than me, because I was going through some stuff. But through talking to them, I actually made them feel better. Giving a smile, talking to some of the girls who ran the marathon, like you, Sean. I'm telling them, you should hang in there. You should push yourself. Now I'm in a hospital. Mm-hmm. I'm going through all kinds of stuff, and they're encouraging me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing when you can instill in others, when you can let other people know what they can do, how they can be prosperous from your point of view. That was beautiful. And because of that, Sean, I literally connected with so many people in that house. And they would come to me. I went back again. I had to go back again because something else happened. And they all came back to me like, where you been? Welcome back. I said, well, welcome back is fine, but I don't want to be here. I'm getting out of here soon again. And I said the same thing. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here. Because they were trying to keep me to guess it. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
I don't know what your plan is, but I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, Sean, I just want people to know that, again, if someone else is hurting, reach out to them. Reach out to that person and show them mercy and show them your kindness and blessings that you can bestow upon them.
Well said, sir. We appreciate you. And yes, I think words are powerful. You definitely manifested all those words in the hospital, and the fact that you touched so many lives just by being a living testimony. I think that shows kudos to you for why you're being more today. So we appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for being a part of the Be More Today show, and for this Thanksgiving show. We really appreciate you. And happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you, Sean.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Folks, he said so many things. It was amazing just listening to his story, his testimony, his journey. And I'm happy to have him as my dad, but also happy to have him still here rocking out and continuing to be prosperous and continuing to be encouraged and encouraging to others, especially during this time. I mean, all you can want to do is get back to work and get back to helping other people. So during this holiday season for you, if you have things that you're going through that you're trying to remember how to be thankful for, or trying to be patient during this process, remember the quote from today by Roy Bennett: be thankful for everything that happens in your life. It is all an experience. Sometimes the experiences are high, sometimes they're low, but we're thankful for all those things in general. We're going to be more thankful as we enter into next year and complete this year, 2025. So, as always, thank you so much for being part of the More Today Show family. We salute you. I salute you as well. And we will see you soon for more things Be More Today related. Until then, happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the holiday season. We'll see you next time, folks. Peace.